Perfect.
Welcome into Tips for Gamers. Today we're going to be giving you guys what you guys have been long expecting, the best playbooks and schemes for Madden 23. This is also something that could change throughout the year, so keep that in mind. And if we do change anything, we will post videos on it, and we'll leave it in the link in the description below of this video. Okay, so keep that in mind. Also, look down at the comments, and you'll see our pinned post. We'll let you guys know if anything changes, and we'll keep you guys updated because this is something that we do expect to probably change throughout the year. It might not, but we want to keep you guys in the loop if it does. Make sure you guys are digesting this. Make sure you're understanding what we're telling you. Don't rush through this. It's not about just waking up early in the morning and, I wake up at 4 a.m. and this is some inspirational video. It's about what you did after you woke up. It's about what you did before you went to bed that actually counts. It's not about just, hey man, I heard the best schemes and I heard the best of this and that, and then I threw it forward and then it's not working too much, T4G. That's because you didn't digest it and understand what the heck we're talking about. And we take it personally when anyone beats you guys. We don't want anyone to beat you. We want when it's almost like a green flash between your eyes when people are like, hey, his eyes turn green. What the heck is that? Well, he watches T4G and he's about to light it up and people fear you. I love that. I absolutely love that, and I take that personal. Okay, I want you to be perfect in every stretch of the imagination. No one remembers second place. Not a single person remembers second place because that's only the first loser. No one cares. I don't care. I don't want to be second place. So schemes do matter. If there's people out there that say schemes don't matter, let them say that. Encourage that thought process because that only means that you're going to be a future loser. Yeah, you may win a few times. You know, even a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. Okay, that's perfect. So look at the scheme. On the bottom, it says players with 3 overall points of the preferred player type will increase the scheme fit percentage. Okay, great. I love it. I love it. Players with a perfect scheme fit match will earn extra XP in weekly training. Let's say you two are matched. You guys are equal across the board. The guy or girl is good at trading. They have basically the same draft picks as you. You guys are just across the board. You guys are equal, right? Well, it's a game of inches. Constantly stack the deck in your favor. So get these correct, because if I'm getting extra XP for the next 5 years, my guys will be better than yours no matter what you do. Okay? And there's no way you can stop that, even if you sign contracts as good as me, which you probably don't. I don't care. I'm going to win the game of inches. So this is important. And I don't care if you're in a user league. I don't care if you're in a simulation league, slow sim, fast sim, whatever. I don't care. This helps. Okay, so take this personally and get it correct. Vertical zone run is hands down the best one. I don't care what anyone says. They can say anything they want. It doesn't matter. It's not going to affect the way I think. It's not going to change it. Why is this the best? Well, strong arm. The archetype of strong arm. That's one of the 2 best archetypes for quarterbacks. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's the end goal of what you want your quarterback to be. Then you have the elusive back. Elusive backs are kings of destruction in the run game. If you move a wide receiver over, you follow our video where we move wide receivers to halfback. They're either going to be a receiving back or a halfback. You can also get fancy too. You can have a power back. You can have a receiving back who is listed as an elusive back, but you know he's your receiving back because he was once a tight end. And then you could have your high-end elusive back, because elusive back tends to mean speed. The fastest guys are elusive backs. You want it to be a player who can have a 90-yard goodbye, where they're just waving to you for 90 yards saying, hey, thanks for playing. And that doesn't matter if you're a user or a simulation. Okay, blocking fullbacks are great because that's what you want your fullback. You don't need anything more fancy. However, we're going to show you tight ends that you can move over to fullback, which still allow you to be able to pass and do fancy stuff to your fullback. You don't need to be truly one-dimensional. You don't. You can have a guy that you're working on his blocking. You could build that up, but he could still go out and catch it for a first down. He could catch in traffic, and he could do all that. You know, it's just stacking the deck. Wide receivers, you got a deep threat. Well, that goes in with elusive back, because if you are having a wide receiver factory just printing out beastly wide receivers that can also play halfback, then that goes in when you move them over. They're going to be an elusive back or a receiving back, and they're going to be fairly close to each other. So you're not going to be fighting your schemes. You're not going to be fighting your system. You're going to be feeding your system. Now, for your left tackle, you're looking at pass protector. And in real life, this is just because it's the weak side of your quarterback. Most quarterbacks are right-handed. So you don't want them to hit your quarterback on his blind side, right? And that's simple. In Madden, I don't know, what the test would show of whether your quarterback getting sacked from his blind side fumbles more than if it's the opposite side. I don't know what that would turn into, but if it was more like real life, then that's what it would be. I mean, you just want your best pass protector on his blind side. If he was a left-handed quarterback, which you're not going to find very often, it would be the right tackle. You would just swap it, okay? And then the rest of them, the agile, you're looking at a 50% ratio. That's really what you want. A 50% ratio is huge because these guys can do both. They can pass block and then they can run block as well. And that's something that you want because you want a mixture of both. But you also want to know that in the future, this is not such a rare scheme that I'm not going to be able to find these guys. I just went to the Bengals and switched them, right? And you're going to find a 50% ratio that 50% of the guys out there, or close to, are going to be an agile lineman. All right, and that's great because that makes future life easier picking up these guys. So on the defensive side of the ball, we're going to run a 4-3 quarters. Quarters, also known as cover 4, is a scheme that puts 4 defenders deep but allows for opportunities to split the field and man and zone coverage, so you're covering both. As such, 4-3 quarters is a good match against versatile offenses like spreads. Okay, so the big thing that I want to do here is I want to shut down the pass. I want to shut down the quick scoring. Okay, the quick scoring is something I want to eliminate because I want you to give the ball back to my offense who can score quickly. Okay, because that's how I'm going to design my offense. I want to make you run, slow the game down, and then I want to score quickly. Because then I want to put you into a spot, if you are a running team, right? I want to put you in the spot where you have to throw. If you're a passing team, I want you to put you in the spot where you have to pass. Think about Ohio State, for example. Ohio State has the most insane offense in college football, right? If they could take their defense and they could dictate what you can do and score quickly and then put you into an uncomfortable situation where you make mistakes, they'd be the nastiest college team in all the land. But they have to do that on defense. Now, there are parts about these archetypes that I love, and there are parts that I'm like, but it's the philosophy. And when you sim a lot, you're going to find that the Bills with a good defense are going to hit massive numbers in categories that you like, okay? They're going to do it good in slow sim. They're going to do it good in fast sim. But you also have to remember the player personnel is huge because if you just have a 70 overall team, or a 70 overall team with 70 overall players across the board, it doesn't matter what scheme you do, you're probably going to lose for a while. So for the left end, you got a run stopper, but I don't want you to take this so literal that every guy has to be a run stopper. Take the best available player. You don't need to take a big dude and just throw him over there from D tackle. However, that's something you can also do. All right, because look at your D tackle here. It says power rusher. If he's a power rusher D tackle, that means that his run stopper is not too far behind. These big fellas are pretty close across the board. So if he's a power rusher, his run stopping ability is not too far behind. So that gives you the ability, if you come across a really good run stopping or a power rusher D tackle, that you can move him over to the left end and you'll be okay. You'll be fine. But if you come across a guy that you think is going to be the next Joey Bosa, Nick Bosa, or what have you, throw him in there. Okay, just know that every now and then work on your run stopper. Make sure some of your backups are run stoppers to help with the scheme fit. Okay, that's fine. That's completely fine. All right, same with the right end here. Your defensive linemen, get the best of available dudes. Okay, literally get the best available dudes and then go from there. But you're going to be able to take a D tackle and move him over to your left end if you want to, and then you can work on his run stopping from there, but also encourage that power rushing and speed rushing because I want to sack the quarterback. I want to stop the run, I want to stop the pass, but I want to create havoc in the backfield as much as possible. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Now, for your left outside linebacker, it's a run stopper. Make sure one's a run stopper. The other guy, you could turn around and have him as a power rusher. You can even kind of work on the pass coverage. Just make sure he's not too much of a pass coverage where you take like a safety and move him down kind of thing. You can do power rusher. You can go from there and just work on him. All right, that's something you do. Now, your middle linebacker being pass coverage, it puts a great ability for you to be able to take a safety and move him to a middle linebacker position. Okay, that's great. You have that ability because then you can work on his other abilities. You can have a fast guy, kind of like a Levante David. You're kind of recreating that Levante David type player, and look at how that worked out for the Bucs. He shut down Travis Kelce. So you can have that ability to where he can shut down guys, but then he can also come up and lay some wood, lay those pads on somebody and let him know he's there. Show him the fabric of who he is as a linebacker. The right outside linebacker, you can also have pass coverage, so that gives you the ability to add a safety there. But you're going to want to add the big run-stopping safeties. That's what you want because those guys also have the pass coverage, and so that kind of gives you the ability to play around with this defense, and I like that. I love the idea of playing around with this defense because it's a chess game. Now, for the cornerback slot, I don't love it more than everything in the world. I don't, but slot isn't the worst. Slot is usually close to man coverage. Okay, they're similar to each other, and I don't mind that. So slot, I'm typically going to go after a guy first who has man coverage, and then I'll work on a slot from there. All right, but man coverage is going to be the first thing I'm looking for as a cornerback. That's what I'm looking for. And this also gives you the ability to where you can take your cornerbacks and move them to the safety positions because they're hybrids. I love hybrids. I love them. Hybrid safeties, I love them. I absolutely love them because it just adds such an intricate part to your defense that's so hard to stop. So that I love. On average, you're going to get more passing yards with Tampa Bay's playbook. Okay, this is the vertical zone run, uses agile linemen to create multiple holes for the halfback to choose from, and forces defense into assignment conflicts by taking downfield shots via play action. Okay, now this can be frustrating at first because you could get sacks if you have the wrong quarterback. If your offensive line is garbage, obviously you can get some sacks. This is what you want to lean towards. This is where you want to go. Let's say you're in a situation, though, where you only have a run game. Whatever, the Madden God's crapped on you and you only have a run game, and there's no way to get around it for whatever reason. You can't trade out of it, nothing. You could go for Cleveland's playbook, or you could go for Tennessee and just do an all-out run until you're ready to branch out from that and kind of add a more intricate offense. That's something you can do. But on average, Tampa Bay's offensive playbook is going to put you in a situation to give more passing yards. Okay, this also will fit into the improviser quarterback or the strong arm. It's going to fit into both of those. For the defensive side of the ball on the actual playbooks, you're looking at Buffalo. Buffalo is going to give you the best look that you want, okay, because this playbook is a multiple 4-3 scheme that focuses on generating pressure to the QB with the defensive line. That's what you want, but you also want to create havoc, stop the run, and you want to get interceptions. Turnovers are key. So this is something that you're going to want to do. On average, they're going to get, if you have the right players in this, you're going to get a lot of sacks. Buffalo gets a lot of sacks in simulation. That's what they do. I would even use these in a standard playbook if I was user playing as well. So these are the best playbooks, and remember to check out the description and come back if we do another video. Make sure to subscribe and all that stuff so we can show you guys any updates if Madden changes anything throughout the year.